back from Portugal. We did 16 days in Portugal. First time ever.
I think it's Eleusis. I'm saying Eleusis. It's Eleusis.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, really enjoyed Portugal, with the exception, apologies to all of my Portuguese listeners and fans, not a very attractive language.
You don't like that language?
I don't like that.
But do you hear it coming out of Brazil? It sounds amazing.
Brazilian Portuguese is nicer than Portuguese.
Oh no!
I'm stealing here some. I think there was a comedian who said this, but who said something that like Portuguese is akin to someone having a perpetual stroke, in the way that, you know, fazão, wow, right? There's kind of a twisting of the mouth that appears unnatural. And I can see that because I found that it wasn't the most pleasant. So now I'm going to get hate mail from Portuguese people.
They're going to be very mad at you because Brazilian Portuguese is beautiful. It's got a flow. It's got a flow.
Yeah.
There's like a.
But I mean,
dancing.
Italian, you know, it's a universally loved language. French, as spoken in France. Now I'm going to upset the next group of people. Quebec French is an affront to human dignity.
What?
Yes, sir. I said it.
What?
Yes. It's horrifying.
I can't believe what you're saying.
Now listen to this. My wife is able to switch her French depending on whom she's speaking with. So if she's speaking with someone who speaks international French, she'll speak in a regular manner. Not Parisian French, but like an international French. I speak an international French because we're from Lebanon. When she speaks to a Quebecer, she turns into a complete Quebecer. And oftentimes I say, how did you just do that? That sounds so inauthentic. She goes, well, no, because if I speak in the regular French, then it'll come across as haughty. But that to me is so strange, because that would be like I speak with an Oxford accent with one person,
right,
and then I turn into the Southern drawl with the other person, depending on who. That doesn't sound. There's a falsity to that. So
there's a good argument. There's a good argument that there's a falsity to that. Yeah. But there's also a good argument that, like, there's like a cultural agreed upon way of communicating. You know, like if you started talking like therefore thou, like if you started talking like that today, people would go, what are you doing, man?
Right.
We don't talk like that anymore.
Do you think I have an accent in English?
You don't have an accent. You have a very distinct way of talking.
Okay. So you couldn't say, oh, you're American or Canadian. It's you.
Well, you have there's that, like your words are very clear, but there's something going on.
Right.
Yeah. It's clear there's something going on there.
Right.
But that's a fascinating thing about a person that's able to speak multiple languages. It's like you're speaking English, but you're speaking English perfectly with like a little bit of a twist to it.
Right.
Which is, I guess, an accent. So I guess the answer is yes.
Arguably my only regret as a parent so far, may it be the only one that I ever experienced, has been that we haven't passed on our linguistic heritage, we meaning my wife and I, to our children. So I speak, Arabic is my mother tongue, French, English, and Hebrew. My wife speaks Armenian, and so between the two of us, we've got 5 languages, and yet our children only speak French and English. And the reason for that is because if I were to speak to them in Arabic or Hebrew, my wife would be locked out. And if she speaks to them in Armenian, I would be locked out. And so we ended up just agreeing on the two languages that we both speak. But now, both our children are telling us that they regret, because when they see me meeting someone who's Arabic and we break out the beautiful Arabic, at least my son has been saying, Daddy, you should only speak to me in Arabic. But now it feels as if it's a vocabulary lesson, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm telling him, here is how you say, he goes, no, but just speak to me.
Right,
but that's easy to do when you're, 1 year old. When you're 11, 12, 13, it feels false to start speaking to you in Arabic when you don't speak a word of Arabic,
Yeah, but that's a great way for him to learn.
Yeah, indeed.
Wouldn't it be?
Yeah, of course.
Because he'd have to keep up.
Yeah.
That's what they say. Like, if you really want to learn a language, really want to learn it, move to a place.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one of the things that I regret the most is that I haven't been able to return ever to Lebanon, because if I were to go on a visiting professorship to, say, American University of Beirut for a year, they're going to come back flawless Arabic speakers. And especially, now my daughter's 14, he's 11. So they're sort of entering that period where they're pretty much soon not going to be able to ever speak it like a native speaker. There's something magical that happens around puberty where if you learn a language after that period, you could never speak it without an accent.
Really?
Yeah, and it really is, and no one exactly knows what causes that mechanism. But so, for example, I learned English at 11, and that was the genesis for why I asked you, do I have an accent? Because I would expect that the time at which I learned it, I snuck in just before that period. Had I learned it when I was 13, 14, 15, I could have spoken it, perfectly, but you would have detected a much stronger accent.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a strange thing about human development and just the sounds that we all agree upon that equal the words.
Yeah. Well, there are tons of sounds in Arabic. Let's see if you can do them. You ready? First time ever on the Joe Rogan Experience.
Give me a try.
Okay, so for example, my last name, all Americans will say Saad. You just extend the A. But the proper way to say it's Gad Saad.
Saad.
Right. It's Ayn.
Like Arnold. Like if Arnold was going to say it. Saad.
Sort of like, exactly. Or, for example, H. Can you say H? Not H. There's H, H, and H. They're coming from different parts from my throat.
What?
Yeah.
Those are all the
So
same.
if I say, the Arabic people are going to laugh at this.
Okay.
Inta khara. That means you're shit. Okay.
Okay.
It's a H.
Inta khara.
Okay. Inta hmar. That means you're an ass. Okay. You're an idiot.
Say it again.
Inta, the second one.
Yeah, the second one.
Inta hmar.
Inta khmad.
But see, you're saying H. It's H.
Okay.
First time ever? Are we breaking new ground?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I've never even tried to say these words.
Yeah, yeah.